Hello and welcome to the WyoNation Roundup. I am Bryan Stevens, joined today by the pride of Gillette, Wyoming, the juice man himself, head coach of the Wyoming basketball team, Sundance Wicks. Coach, how you doing today?
Man, I love the intro. I mean, pride of Gillette, Wyoming, the juice man himself. I mean, people are going to have to come up on their intros if they're going to compete with you, Bryan. Appreciate you having me on, big dog.
Hey, we appreciate you coming on, Coach. We just wanted to, now that things have settled down, you got your coaching staff put together, you got your roster put together. We wanted to pick your brain on kind of how that whole thing went. So before we get started on that, kind of give us a recap on last season, man. You came in late, you had to scramble to build a roster. I personally think that things went pretty good given the circumstances. Kind of how would you say last year went for you after the scramble?
Context is everything, right, Bryan? Like it's a matter of when you got the job, the type of holes you had to fill to be able to at least function for a season. So this time last year, man, we were scrambling. We were still sitting here having 2 to 3 visits a week all the way up until mid-June, almost even late June, to be honest with you. And so right now we're in a process where our staff's together, our team's together. We just get a scheme and kind of suspense out what we're going to do for the summer, which is a far cry from where we were last year, man. It was that was like dancing in a tornado, right? Drinking water through a fire hose. That stuff happens so fast that a lot of things kind of slip through the crack, right? And you don't want that to happen. But if we're going to just go a broad outlook of kind of where it was last year, very few times in life do you actually end up where you were picked to finish, right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we picked to finish ninth. We finished ninth. You're either better or you're worse. We just kind of stayed the same. We kind of leveled the ship out, so to speak, and we got ourselves back to an even keel. We're not rocking so much right now. And if I'm going to just objectively, talk about where we were and what we did, and we were close in a lot of games, right? But only know that close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And so to that point, it's going to be a lot of great teach tape for us this year for the new guys coming in, and then to be able to just kind of roll into it the way you're supposed to, right? Everything felt so rushed and stressed last year, just because of the timing of the job, which it was a completely new and unique experience for me. It's one thing to get a job at Green Bay and then know you got 2 months to kind of fill a roster. And, we were able to get 10 guys in like 52 days, but getting 10 guys in about 20 days that's a new level of stress and pressure that I don't wish on any college coach.
I can only imagine, Coach. So, after last year got over, obviously, transfer portal is a big deal and all of college sports these days. Clearly we lost a bunch of players too. Were there any surprises in there? And I'm not asking you to name names, but was there a guy, like anybody that jumped in and you're going, oh man, that's going to put me in a bind? Or did you kind of know what was coming?
Yeah. I mean, I think first and foremost, you're looking at how many guys we graduated, right? We had 7 guys that were seniors. So that people think the roster turned over a lot. Well, there's a lot of turnover when you graduate 7 guys. And then let's say a handful of guys, 2 or 3 guys go in the portal. That feels like your whole roster left. Well, on average, what we're expecting is anywhere from 3 to 4 guys to go in the portal, just on average, right? You're going to lose guys that don't play a whole lot because the guys want to play. And that's the way you can earn money nowadays is you got to get minutes, right? And so a lot of what we do recruiting wise is to tell guys, man, you need minutes. Like you want to come play. That's money doesn't matter if you're not playing. I'm just telling you, man, money's not going to make you happy if you're not playing. Now, maybe there's some people that can make some concessions for that, but I know this, man. I do this job for free because I love it. And I've done this job for free. I mean, I was in Arizona living in an MMA gym, sleeping on a beanbag, giving lessons for free because I love teaching and coaching. And so if you're passionate about something, you'll just do it because you love to do the process of the work. And so for surprises, nothing really surprises me anymore. Just to be honest with you, like any reason is a good reason when you want to leave. And nowadays, most of those reasons are opportunity, financial windfall, big gain. I mean, it's even if you played minimal minutes, there's still a chance that you could actually go make more money without equaling the production, right? It's kind of crazy. So nothing really surprises me. Guys that left don't really surprise me. I'm happy we got a lot of guys graduated. I mean, our biggest thing is still, and to me, is just graduating guys. Toko graduated, Ole graduated, Cole graduated, Scotty graduated, Jordan Nesbitt graduated, Obi Agbam graduated. I mean, these guys are getting their degrees from Wyoming. It's a big deal. for the rest of their life, when they show their degree or when they show they got their degree from, it's going to say University of Wyoming. We can't slight that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Hey, I got a lot of pride in my degree from the University of Wyoming still to this day. So I'm really glad to see that guys are graduating, and you could see it senior day when those guys came out. They were really proud.
Yeah.
To wear the brown and gold. They were proud to be in Laramie. And
it's a special place, and we just keep selling the fact that Laramie's special, University of Wyoming special, and man, like when you could. Cole Henry came back. He's like, this is my favorite place I've ever been. Cole spent a lot of time in Northern Iowa, but he loves Wyoming just because Wyoming treated him so well.
That's awesome, man. So you got your guys going in. You're obviously looking for more players to bring in because, as you said, you graduated a bunch. You had a few go into the portal. What kind of summer rules are there for contact and practices between the staff and the players? And, when can you start reaching out to players without breaking the rules?
Well, I mean, we could recruit 26s we're recruiting 26s, and then 27s you can contact June 15th after their junior year or going into their junior year. And so, high school recruiting has changed a lot. I mean, they used to be able to, project, I'm going to go after this sophomore, and right when that day hits, we're going to go get them and we're going to start building that relationship. We're really aiming small and missing small in a couple prospects out of the high school ranks. I just think we could steal good kids. I mean, I feel like we stole Gavin. I feel like we stole Nas, Neil, Sim, just kind of those 4-year guys that are coming in as freshmen. We stole really, really quality young guys this year. Just because we built that relationship for multiple years prior to them committing. And so the rules for our summer engagement, which is with our guys, we could start anywhere we want in June, and we get 8 weeks. We get 8 weeks to work with our guys. And so last year we only got 6 because we started so late. That extra 2 weeks is massive for building chemistry and connectivity, just getting the guys to get a rhythm and a flow and a feel for Laramie. So I'm really excited to get the summer started, man. June 15th can't come quick enough for us. And then once again, like I said, our wheelhouse is going to be trying to go get a couple new guys every year, a couple young guys, 2 to 3 young guys, seniors in high school that'll be freshmen coming into college every year, just because I think we could steal that young talent.
Yeah, and I agree with you that you got some good guys. Like it's no small task recruiting against guys like Brad Underwood and Shaka Smart and Sean Miller. Like those are some big names in the coaching world. So we're really excited to see these guys come in too.
Well, it's opportunity, right? There's levels to this. We all know that, but the opportunity to come in and compete, play, have a purpose as a freshman is rare nowadays at the highest level. I mean, you got to be really, really, really special to go in there and play a lot of minutes at those P4s as a freshman. And here, I think freshmen can still have impact, can have massive impact still.
Yeah, I agree. So when you're looking for prospects, both out of high school and out of the portal, like what kind of are you looking for? And I'm not asking you to give away the secret sauce, but are there, I know Pat Stacy had some metrics he built in. I'm sure you look at that. Is it more of that? Is it a lot of film study? Like kind of how does it go all fit together?
I think if people really understood how this roster came together this offseason, the approach we took, not only from analytics side, but from a analytics side, 3 things that we're really big on is one, it's cultural, right? Competency, right? So we look for cultural competency, which is you got to be able to play the game. That's pretty big, right? You got to be able to play the game. It doesn't matter, if you cultural competitiveness, right? So you got to be able to compete at the highest level for us. Like that's just non-negotiable for us. Is can you show up and compete every single day, right? Every damn day, you got to be an everyday dude. You got to show up, you got to do the work, and you got to serve others. So 1, can you play the game? 2, are you willing to compete eagerly willing to compete every single day? And then last, competitive character, cultural character. Are you the right type of human being that will get into and fit into Laramie? I think that's big. It's every spot you have to recruit kind of to the spot that you're at. You can't just paint it with one broad stroke. There's special kids that fit well in Laramie. Like Cole Henry was a great Laramie guy. He could have lived here forever, right? He could have been a 4-year, 5-year guy. We got to get guys that see themselves being in Laramie for a while. And that takes time to dive in and vet the human being in this process. People that we think will really appreciate where they are and who they're with. So you got to be able to play the game right, and you got to be able to be resilient enough, and you got to have some competitive enough, enough competitiveness to stay here and play here. And then you got to have the character to make it here. This isn't a huge town where you can hide, go do whatever you want. You know, you're in a spotlight, you're in a fishbowl. People are going to see you every single day, and they're going to know who you are. We want that. I mean, I want our guys to have that type of pressure in the community to go out there and know that, man, people are looking at you, man. They're expecting great things out of you.
That's awesome. So you talk about bringing these guys in, and Laramie's a special place, and you want the guys that come in. You talked last year when we played Colorado State that these guys didn't know what the border war was about and didn't know how much that meant to the people of Wyoming. So how important is it this year that you've got 4 guys on the team that are Wyoming guys? You got you and Coach McMillan, and then you've got Neil and Garrett on the player side. How big a deal is that to really get the culture instilled in this team?
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, that's huge with any team, right? And I just, hope the people of Wyoming know that what we're fighting against, right? And this, it's an arms race right now, and it's not for facilities anymore, right? It's for NIL. And teams that are you've seen teams leapfrog other teams, it's because they're investing a lot in their program. I don't care if that's football, basketball, women's basketball, volleyball, they're investing in their programs. They want to see success. And it doesn't take some monumental investment to have, right? It just takes people that want to see us win, and then, want to see our guys, stay here. You talked about retention is a big part of this. Part of building culture nowadays is having the financial resources to retain. And if you can retain, guess what? Then you can maintain. If you can retain, you can maintain culture, consistency, competitiveness. And that's how you continue to build and grow that cultural competency that we talked about, where you got guys that understand what the border war is. You got guys that understand what it's like to play and travel on the Mountain West. All these things go hand in hand, man. They're not mutually exclusive. So it takes everybody, the state of Wyoming, to sit back and say, how much do I want to see us win? It's not only just me and our program, right? Everybody in our staff and our players, they all want to win. But how much does everybody else want to see us win? And that's a big time commitment, man. That's a commitment that other programs are making. There's a program 45 minutes down the road that's making a commitment right now, right? And we want to beat that team, and we want to beat all those other teams. And it takes more than just, let's rally the troops and let's go get one. It takes a lot to maintain this thing nowadays. And I think the sooner we understand that these things are being run like professional organizations, that's why there's general managers. It's not college athletics anymore. We got to dispel that narrative as much as we want it to be. This is big time basketball. This is big time athletics. It's one step below, right? I mean, there's players foregoing the NBA draft to come back to college. Think about that. The dream of every player growing up was, I want to be drafted and I want to play in the NBA, Bryan. And now there's players actually thinking about, I could be in the first round. I don't care. I want to come back to college because it's more beneficial for me to be in college for another year than it is for me to play in the NBA. That's how big time college athletics is nowadays. That's a wild thing to understand, but that's where we're at nowadays. And so because it's big time, we can't think small time, right? We got to be able to move ourselves to a different space that says, well, let's go compete with the big dogs in.
Yeah. And, we're not affiliated in any way with the NIL collective, with 1YO, but just what you're saying, anybody that's watching this, if you want a competitive basketball team, donate to the collective. You don't have to like it, but that's the way college athletics is these days. If we don't donate, then it's going to be really hard to maintain.
Well, Bryan, think about this. It's donate to Cowboy Joe. There's revenue sharing now, right? So donate to Cowboy Joe. Like the stuff that you want to do, you want to donate to Cowboy Joe. Donate to Cowboy Joe. That helps us still. So double down. Let's go all in. So put all your chips on the table and let's go all in. It helps everybody. It helps every single sports team that we have if you're donating to Cowboy Joe nowadays.
Heck yeah. So last thing for you here, Coach, you've got this team together, and I think you've got a really good squad together, and, we could really dive into the roster, but you've done that other places already. So let's just say, in a perfect world, you get every player you target. You're like, I want that guy, I want that guy, I want that guy. You can bring in anybody you want to Laramie. What type of team do you want to put on the floor? And we know you want a culture team, but what style do you want to be known for in Laramie? What do you want people to fear when they come to Laramie?
Well, and I think this is where we've kind of adjusted our mindset here a little bit this year. You get what you get and you can't throw a fit. That's what I tell my kids all the time. And we have the resources to go out there and compete in a certain space, to go try to find players that fit our style. One, I think we understand, we're not going to have this massive dominant inside big guy. You know why? Those guys cost a lot of money, and we'd have to blow our entire budget on having a big guy that could go average a double every single night. But what we can go get is we can go get skill at that position. And so what we targeted was a lot of skill and a lot of positional size, right? And so the perfect roster for us is to play multiple guys. I mean, we don't want to play 6, 7, 8 guys. We want to play a lot of guys, and we got to use the altitude advantage, right? So it's not called the AA, the Arena Auditorium. It doesn't stand for Arena Auditorium. It stands for altitude advantage. And so we're going to have to pick our pace up more. We're going to have to pressure a little bit more full court. And we're going to have to make people fear coming to altitude, because last year we had to play a slow down style of play just to try to squeeze the life out of every possession. I think this year we'll have a chance to up our tempo, to play a little bit more freely. Now, structured freedom, it's not just let it all go. But we still have to be an insanely competitive team. And that's what I think we recruited. I think we recruited great positional size, switchability, physicality, and size. And then we recruited skill more than anything, was just guys that can pass, handle, and shoot from any position. And so our fives could bring the ball up the floor this year. Not sure that could happen last year, but they could bring the ball up the floor this year. They can make decisions. They can shoot it really well. Our guards are all interchangeable and very versatile. There's a lot of punt returners on our roster. So we want people to fear coming to 72-20, not because it's just 72-20, but because of the pace and of play that they're going to have to go at every single possession with us. We're going to up that tempo a little bit more. And so I'm not sure, people call it exciting or whatever. To me, it's not about being exciting. It's not having an exciting brand of basketball. It's about having a brand of basketball that fits your program and your style of play with your team. You can't put square pegs in round holes. And so what we did is when we put this roster together and we sat down as a staff, we said, where's our competitive advantage? Well, our competitive advantage is our speed, our size, our positional size, our physicality, and our switchability. And because of that, our skill set all matches that as well. It allows us to play with a little bit more pace. And so I'm excited to kind of see where these guys go and how hard they get after it this summer, with a lot of talent on this roster as far as just competitive grit and skill set.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it, Coach. I'm as high on the basketball team as I've been in a couple of years, so I'm excited for it. I know the people that are watching this are excited for it too. Thank you very much for your time. We know you're a busy guy, and we appreciate you. Go Pokes.
Happy to be on WyoNation anytime, man. Anytime you guys need me. It's gonna be a fun year for us, just because we got time now, right? This is year 1. Last year was year 0. We got time now, brother. We got time to actually dive into who we are and what we're gonna be, and we're competing on the same level as everybody else. So excited about the future of Poke basketball, man. Thanks for having me on, Bryan.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yeah, go Pokes.